What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. What's going on, Craig? How's everybody doing today on this beautiful Saturday? Adam, what's going on? Hopeful to the moon. Let's go, Jojo. Black Purpose, what's going on? Ricky, Johnny, TJ, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys had a good Friday night. Nice Saturday. If you're working, grind hard. Let's get it. All right, so let's just jump right into this. So, a couple things. First, we've seen what the market, Bitcoin particularly, we're going to cover Bitcoin. So in the last few days, obviously, we have really just been seeing this kind of a downward, not really a dramatic downward, but more of a, what I like to say, a bull flag playing out, or a descending triangle, where we pretty much have been just kind of, just going back and forth to the, sometimes we'll break above this this channel, but we seem to just keep falling right back into this channel, right? And you can see usually a lot of times when these descending triangles form out, or what I love to call them bull flags, you're going to see some kind of a break towards the upside. Doesn't happen every time, but a lot of times it does. And we're going to go over a couple articles that are basically indicating that the market right now is setting up for a big run. Let's see here. Prodigy, what's going on? Troy, what's going on? Black Purpose said I bought, is that $11,000 of Milady? If you did, bro, that's a bag right there, bro. But regardless, if it's 11,000, if 1,100, or if it's $110, don't matter, bro. That's still a plus. So good job, man. Good job. So like I'm saying, so Bitcoin particularly, you guys can see, so for the last couple days, right, you can see we really have respected this channel, right? Respected it. Descending triangle. Today, we are looking like we found some kind of a V-shaped recovery. We did bottom out yesterday at around 50,500. Currently, we are sitting at around 51.1, right? Well, couple things. I think, and I keep telling you guys, as we get closer, I mean, I'm kind of shocked in a way that we haven't really, we haven't broke above this 52,000 in the last few days. But the fact that we are still holding above 50,000 tells me that we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're just going through a little part right now that it's just pretty much where it's dulled down. We're boring. It's a boring market, almost like we're chopping sideways, but we're not really, because if you really see, we've been going down in this descending triangle. So for what I'm seeing is hopefully this bull flag plays out, and this next week that we're about to jump into, we're obviously going to have to come up and retest some of these areas. 51.7, obviously there's 52,000. And then what I've been telling you guys since the last week, the spot that I am most importantly watching is this 52.5. You guys can see for Bitcoin particularly, we have not really had confirmation above this 52.5. This whole time we've been up in the 50s, you can see we have broke above a couple times, but it's been short-lived, right? No candle has found its support above the 52.5. We've hit our head on it multiple times. We have not found support above this 52.5. So that to me is a big spot. I don't really care much about any of these other areas until we get up to 52.5 and we find some support above the 52.5. That's when I'm telling you guys, we're going to be on stream and I'm going to be telling you guys 55,000 is right around the corner, right? As soon as we get those confirmations above the 52.5. But until then, we're going to be basically riding this channel out. But like I said, we have some articles coming out that we're going to read that seems to be very, very bullish for Bitcoin. So we'll check it out. Milady particularly right now sitting at around 67.9. I will tell you, I was expecting if Bitcoin was really going to chop around in this area that it's in, that we maybe were going to see somewhat of a bigger sell-off for ladies, and we really haven't. We've been really holding this 64, 65 as support and really chopping up, like I keep saying, like around the 68, 69. We did break, I think this was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, the 22nd. So 2 days ago, we did form this M pattern, this double top, where we jumped up. It looked like we were trying to break out. We broke up above the 70, but it was short-lived, forming that M double pattern, and it took us to the downside right here at the 64. And what I keep doing, me personally, is I just keep adding. When we get down towards these levels right now, because you guys remember all in the streams, we map these channels that we're in, right? And we kind of indicate where the lows are that we're finding support. And that's usually an indicator for a dollar cost average buy-in, right, for myself. So you can see as we've been bottoming out recently around the 64, 63 marks right here, right? If we get anywhere in those areas, that's particularly where I keep just adding like $1 billion or $2 billion to my bag, right? I just keep adding and adding because we know in the long run what this project's going to do. So buying right now, even if we were to somehow come back down towards these lower levels into the 50s, I don't care. It's just more of a buying opportunity for myself, and I'm sure for every single one of you guys. So I honestly hope that you guys aren't getting discouraged whatsoever, because I have prepared you guys, and I've pointed this out so many times with Bitcoin particularly. As we're on our way up, you guys remember the 2021 bull run. We would make it up to all-time highs, and we would actually drop down and retest 20-30% drops after those all-time highs, only to go in a channel for maybe a week or two and then make a new all-time high. It's just how it works. Don't get psyched out. Don't hand your coins or your tokens over to other people, right? You're selling at a loss right now is pretty much how I see it. And you guys know we'll go through the projects, and I've been kind of falling into that. I say something on stream, and then I don't practice what I preach, and then I end up selling on a project that ends up going up, like 2-3x. So I'm done with that. I'm not going to sit here and time the market. I'm just going to continue to dollar cost average in. That's going to be my strategy for right now. Right now, I feel like anything that you sell, even if you're up 40 or 100%, you're still selling yourself short is how I look at it. So jumping into the chat real quick. What's going on, everybody? I hope I've caught everybody here. It looks like I have. Let's see here. I actually buy 6,000 on leverage on 2x. Nice. And Randy West, what's going on, bro? Yeah, Black, that's what I was going to point out here. Let's see here. And that's what we always say here, and we talk about is the market cap for Milady's particularly sits around that $50 million. It's just like a stable spot for Milady right now. But you know what? I will tell you, if you go back a month ago, looking at the market cap, we're at around 50 million right now. This is where we came from. We came from the 30s, right? So we're still technically, looking at the month right now, Milady is still holding 30% higher than she was just 4 weeks ago. Take that into consideration, guys. We're perfectly fine. We're not losing any of these gains yet. And I don't think it's going to happen, honestly. I think that, the fact that Bitcoin, even on off days, Bitcoin's still sitting well above 50,000. We're perfectly fine. We are so set up, I'm telling you, for this in the next few weeks to jump up to that 55, 60,000 that I keep predicting right before this happening. So I hope you guys are not falling into this. I hope you guys aren't falling into this. Don't get bored. Just if you have the opportunity for any of your favorite projects, to continue to just dollar cost average in, and don't sell right now. Honestly, don't sell. It took me some hard lessons in the last few weeks to really realize I'm like, bro, I'm selling myself short here on everything, right? Now let's check out Jasmy, because Jasmy's been a hot topic lately, and you guys know, obviously, we did top out for Jasmy a few days ago at around 19. We'll call it the 19. We'll give it the 19, right? It was the 18.9. We'll give it the 19. It deserves it, right? We'll give it the 19. So you saw this, that we topped out, and look where this thing finally found some support. I swear I had these support levels here already. I'm telling you guys. And look where it found support, right here at this 12.3. Right at the 12.3, it has found support so far, right? So we're going to see how it goes. It is hitting its head on this fib retracement right here at the 382. That's going to be around the 13.5. You can see it's basically been hitting its head. So do I think that we're going to see more of a retracement for Jasmy? I mean, anything can happen right now, right? Anything can happen. This right here was going to happen, right? We saw this beautiful pump. I mean, some of these candles were like 50% pumps. We saw this beautiful move up, like everything in the market. Even if it's very bullish and it has hype behind it, it's going to find a spot where it's going to hit its head and it's going to need to retrace, right? We always talk about this. A retracement is healthy because what it's doing is it's flushing out all those buyers, and it's getting to a point where it's flushing out all the sellers, and it's getting to a point where the buyers get back into control, right? But it has to hit a healthy spot. And it looks like for right now, Jasmy hit that healthy spot at around 12.2. So we're going to obviously continue to monitor this and see how it goes. Hopefully it holds at 12.2 and we start making our way towards the upside again for Jasmy. This by no means was a top out right here for Jasmy. By no means. I guarantee maybe it sits in the channel, for the next few weeks, waiting for the market to correct itself and Bitcoin to really start getting back up towards, those higher levels and really have another breakout. Then I think you're going to see Jasmy start moving up. And this was another thing that I was talking about with Jasmy, was that Jasmy decoupled itself from the actual the whole crypto market, right? It was rallying while everything was kind of stagnant, if not going down. Jasmy was moving, obviously off the hype of a lot of big things coming out of Japan, right? But I did mention that eventually it was going to get back in sync with Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. And I think that's what we're seeing now. I think we saw pretty much this beautiful move up. We saw a lot of people take profits. We found support. And I think now it's going to kind of just go in sync with Bitcoin, which is perfectly fine, because what some of these predictions are calling for Bitcoin, I mean, if Jasmy just kind of runs with it, you're going to see a crazy number for Jasmy, I think, in this next bull run. Definitely believe that. So you guys remember what I was saying just 2 days ago. I was slightly short. I was slightly bearish short term for Jasmy just because it had such a big run up. But long term, I think this project's going to be, a big force to reckon with. I really do. And I think what we saw in the last week was just a short glimpse of what's going to actually happen, not just for Jasmy, but for the whole market itself. Real quick, guys, we got 21 people here and 8 likes. Make sure you guys are hitting that like. Hit the like for the channel, for the algorithm, for all our cryptos, right? Ricky said, what's your thoughts on Bitcoin? I'm looking to buy $10,000. Oh, okay. So, obviously, first thing I have to say, Ricky, is I don't give out financial advice, right? They make me say this, right? But because I really don't give out financial advice, I just give out my opinion. Now, as far as Bitcoin and buying in, one thing I always preach is dollar cost averaging in, right? Me personally, let's say I have $10,000 and there's a particular project that I'm looking at, I will not just go throw 10 grand into it all at once. Sometimes, if you were to catch it, let's say Bitcoin was to just out of nowhere nosedive, right? And we dropped down to 47.9, and found support around here, maybe I would be looking to throw just a whole, 10 grand in, right? Because I feel like that was just a crazy drop that we just saw, and I'm not even going to look forward to a dollar cost averaging in. I'm just going to probably buy in on something like that. That's just one of these random, crazy, unpredictable drops. But if we're just sitting in a channel that we're in right now, and what I've just explained about Bitcoin, with the possibility that we're going to most likely sit in this channel for a few days longer, and then possibly have a breakout, I would just say at any given time, just dollar cost averaging in, right? And I mean dollar cost averaging in, if I had 10,000, 500 here, 500 there. Just kind of watching the market to see, really right now, looking to see if we drop down towards this lower channel. The lower channel for Bitcoin right now would be somewhere around the 50,005. The 50,500 would be a spot that we found some support that we've kind of been bouncing off of. If we get anywhere near there, 500. Or maybe 1,000, right? And I would just continue to do that. Dollar cost averaging in is probably going to be the safest way, just because if we do continue to move down, you're going to continue to bring your average down, right? If we start moving up, you're at least catching it, as we move up, and you can, like I said, you're keeping your average at a base instead of buying in at one spot, and then if the market does some kind of a move towards the downside, now that 10 grand, you're not, at the end of the day, as long as that 10 grand is a long-term hold, I think at the end of the day, regardless if you throw it all at once or if you start dollar cost averaging in, it's going to be a plus, right? Because we all know at the end of the day, as long as you're using money that you don't have to stress about, that's just sitting there collecting dust, and you have the luxury of just letting it sit there, time's on your hands, right? Time's on your side, so you can sit there and just, even if it goes down, you're like, who cares? It sucks looking at, your portfolio in the red, but long term, you know where it's going to head, right? So that's pretty much what I would be doing. It's just dollar cost averaging in. Right now, best spot to look forward to or look for is going to be around that 50,500, 50,600, where we pretty much have found some support. Anything below that, that would be obviously an indication of a just continuous dollar cost averaging. And I don't mean just like one time a day. If I'm watching the charts and we continue to, make lows, or if we continue to test a certain spot, whenever we get towards that spot, maybe throw a few hundred at it. Maybe throw that 500 at it here and there. That's what dollar cost averaging in. I'm just kind of just watching the market. And as we see little dips, I'm going to just keep eating it up here and there. But I'm not going to throw all my chips in at one time is what I'm looking at. And that's the same thing for like Milady that I keep telling you guys. As we keep making these little small dips is where I take advantage of it, right? Take advantage of it. I might not catch the dip all the way at the bottom, but as we start moving towards, I'm like, all right, well, you know what? We're at this 65, 64. We continue to keep kind of finding support around that area. I buy $1 billion, right? $1 billion, Milady, not $1 billion, right? That'd be awesome, though. Same thing over here. If we get around that 64, 65, I go ahead and buy another $1 billion because that's around where we keep finding support. So even right now, I believe that is above where my average is. So technically, me buying in right now is kind of bringing my average up. My average price for Milady is technically, as I buy, is going up a little bit. I don't care because at the end of the day, for Milady particularly, the market cap is so freaking small that this thing is going to be, from where it's at right now to where it's going to be in this next bull run. I don't really care if I'm buying in, a few percent higher than what my average is, because at the end of the day, this is a long-term play for me. So I'm not really worried about it. Let's see here, but good luck with that 10 grand. I think as long as you get into the market, bro, and you hold on long term, I think it's going to be nothing but a plus for you, bro. So I hope that money that you're using is not money that you need anytime soon, right? Because you never know, you don't want to use money that you might need for bills or to feed your family or anything like that, right? You don't want to be stressed out or obligated to have to sell. And let's say we're not in a bull run just yet, right? You don't want to be in that situation. So let's see here. Black Purpose said, do you think on the halving we'll have the pump? Yeah. So I think, as we've been talking about for Bitcoin, I think as we move closer towards the halving, you see these beautiful drawings that I have right here. These are just masterpieces right here. I mean, it's honestly, look at these drawings. These things are beautiful, right? Now, just kidding. But this is what I'm kind of anticipating. Maybe not exactly, right? But what I'm anticipating is more, we have two different scenarios, right? We have, as we get closer towards the halving, this big pump, right? This big run up right before the halving, and then a sell the news event where we'll see some kind of a sell off, because with crypto, it's always like that. Anything that's happening, there's always going to be a big run up until the actual whatever the hell is going on, right? And then there's going to be a sell the news where people will come in short term and they're like, this thing's pumping. All right, I'm going to sell. They sell off. Let them do what they got to do, because at the end of the day, they're going to end up missing out anyway, because historically speaking, with the halving, we usually see something like this where we have a nice run up, we have a sell the news event, and then literally within a month or two, we're over making new highs already. So that's what I'm particularly thinking that's going to happen somewhere around there. It might not be these exact numbers, right? I was just drawing. I particularly am predicting right now conservatively that before the halving, we're going to be somewhere in between 55 and 60,000. I want to see how this week, because we read an article that within the 60 days span of 60 days right before the halving, which we just entered in, it's usually we see the most parabolic run up for Bitcoin. And that's pretty much what we've got into. We've gotten into the 60-day threshold. So I want to see what this next this week and these next few weeks really have in store for us as far as runs. I might have to critique that $55,000-$60,000 estimate and maybe raise it up a little bit towards 65, 70. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But I'm anticipating, regardless of the numbers, some kind of a nice run up, sell the news event. Maybe we kind of we're going to need a little bit of recovery after that sell the news event, depending on where we find support. And then from there on, maybe within the next few weeks, possibly a month or two after the halving, is when we start seeing all-time highs, is pretty much what I'm thinking. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see here. So TJ said, news alert, Jasmy's pumping. It is. It looks like it's trying to have a little breakout. Nice little breakout. We'll see. Let's see, because looking at these SMAs, and let's get in depth on Jasmy on what's going on here. So you can see with Jasmy, we're looking at the 1 hour. These are going to be your SMA moving averages. You can see we technically, I don't call this a confirmation yet particularly, but we'll see how it goes because we only have 2 candles above this 20-day SMA. So we'll see how it plays out. This thing, you can see right here, watch. I was going to say this thing's probably going to get caught up. So let me change these freaking colors. I hate these colors. You guys know I hate them because they're so similar to, it's like hard to make out what the hell is going on here. Orange, so yellow, red, orange, and then we'll make this one blue. There. All right. So the yellow is going to be our 20. That's where we've found support. Hopefully, I like to see at least 3 to 4 candles, whether they're red or green, above a certain line. We have 2 technically. This one you can't consider because it was down. It was under the 20. You can see the bounce on both of these on the 20. It technically did break. This is going to be our 50. This is our 100. You can see the 100-day. Look where we were hitting our head, right on the 100. We did break technically above it for right now. We're going to have to see how these candles form. So for right now, Jasmy is having a nice little breakout, but we're going to come back and monitor this and see, are we going to come back down towards this 20-day, or are we going to find some kind of support above possibly this 100 or this 50-day SMA? We're going to see. We'll see how this plays out. But I mean, regardless, the fact that she found some support right here at where we were calling around this 12.2, I mean, I think even if she, even if she comes back down and still confirms that she's going to stay above this 20-day, we're going to probably see some more of an upward movement for Jasmy, most likely. So let's see here. So Gene said, do you think Corgi AI and Spell Token can hit 10 cent? Let's see. I haven't really been looking at Corgi AI recently. Corgi actually looks like it's up from the last few weeks. So we'll see. This tells you how long it's been since I've looked at Corgi. It's been a few weeks. My fib retracement's like outdated. Let's see here. Once this chart loads up. All right. Let's move this over. I'm going to have a freaking fib retracement that's going to be like a whole year span. So with Corgi AI, you guys can see we did mark a couple spots here for some support. It did break a little bit below the support level that I had for this 16. But looking at it, you can see it bounced multiple times off this 16, right? Broke below it. And I will just point out, if this thing does, it is breaking out right now. This thing looks great. But if you ever do get a chance for Corgi AI for it to break under this support, this would be like my buy zone. From right here where the support is, the 16.2, and right here where it has not retested since it's really been on a massive breakout, the 12.4. I don't think you're going to see any 12.4 anytime soon unless something drastic happens. But anything buying in, dollar cost averaging, anything under this 16.2 would be a big play in my eyes, honestly. So Corgi AI right now is at around 21. It looks great. It looks really good. We're going to have to see how it plays out because it's going to be coming up to a big spot for some resistance at the 22.5 at the 382 fib. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. But if this thing breaks above this 22.5 or 22.5 area right here at the 382, if it breaks above it and finds some support, you're most likely going to be seeing some kind of a big run. Now he asks, can this thing get to 10 cents? Well, let's see here. So you look at the market cap. The market cap right now is about $650 million for Corgi. It's not even at 1 cent. It's at a 0.2 of a cent. So if just to get to 1 cent, this would need to do basically about a 4x. About a 4x and some change, right? So 4 times 650 is going to be somewhere around that's going to be somewhere around 2.7 billion just to get up to what was I just lost my just to get up to 1 penny It's gonna take about, what did I say? I just freaking missed my train of thought there. So 4x from where we're at right now. Let's see here. 4x from where we're at right now would get us up to a penny on price. Price wise on market cap of 4x would put us somewhere around 2.7. I believe that is about 2.7, almost $3 billion market cap. So can it do that to get to a penny? Possibly. Now think about 10 cents. It would have to get up to about $30 billion market cap for it to get to 10 cents. That right there might be a little bit of a stretch. Possibly can, but that's a big stretch, right? So I would you guys always know I'm conservative and I like to keep it honest and real. This thing, I possibly think this could run up to about $1 billion, maybe $2 billion. So with that being said, from where it's at right now, if it was to get up to about $2 billion, you're looking at about a 3x from where it's at right now, possibly getting close to around that 1 penny mark. Now remember, I'm being conservative. This thing could easily get up, well past those levels, but I like to be conservative. So to answer your question, 10 cents for Corgi AI, I think it would be pretty difficult for it to get up there. I honestly do think it would be pretty difficult for it to get to 10 cents, in my opinion. I know it doesn't seem like that big of a run, but think about it. 10 cents. Just think about this. Look where I'm having to zoom out. For it to get to 10 cents, you don't even see the price anymore, right? But mapping it out from 10 cents, from where it's at right now to get up to 10 cents, that's a 14,000% move from where it's at right now. Just take that in consideration. Take that into consideration, right? So to be more realistic, I think that this thing could definitely get close to a penny, which the market cap would be in the billions for it to do that. So good luck. I hope it does, though. I hope it does. There's a lot of momentum behind Corgi AI, and Corgi AI is obviously running off of a lot of the AI projects that are moving, and this is all because what we've been talking about, NVIDIA. NVIDIA came out and they shattered earnings, bringing the whole AI market with it, right? For stocks and for crypto. Now, let's check out Spell. I want to leave that Jasmy chart up real quick. Let's check out Spell. So I know we were looking at Spell. We've been checking it out the last few streams. Obviously, we saw this massive run up. Basically, you see this little M pattern, double top. That's why we saw the down retracement. Now, looking at Spell, trying to see here something. Let me see, what's Spell's market cap? $85 million? Wow. That's a freaking small market cap, bro. That's a small market cap. That's why we saw this beautiful, crazy run up. Because it doesn't take much for this project to move, with the market cap being so relatively small. And it's at 85 million right here. Imagine where it was at when it was down, like in these areas. It was probably at like 30 or $40 million market cap. So you guys know how I'm looking. Market cap small. Circulating supply is about 50%, so it's not the best, but for right now, I'm sure they don't have plans to really release much coins or tokens in this project. So I will say, for this thing to get to $1, I know it sounds crazy. Okay, to get to $1, this would need to get to $100 billion market cap. We probably won't see $1 Spell token, but 10 cents. 10 cents, because someone asked, can Spell get to 10 cents? Well, let's see. Looking at the market cap being at 85 cents and the price right now is at what? This is like, the price is like 0.1230. So this thing's like a fraction of a penny, right? I'd be more worried about this thing just getting to a penny, honestly, is what I'd be more worried about. It just getting to a penny, because if it gets to a penny, that's eating up like 2 zeros. So definitely has the potential to do that, right? Because it's only at $85 million market cap. You can see this thing doesn't take much for this thing to shoot up. So I believe, honestly, with this project, I would just continue to be dollar cost averaging in. I wouldn't even be really worried about anything other than just keep dollar cost averaging in, because this project is such a small market cap. It has such potential to really do some big things in this next bull run. Now, looking for some support. Obviously, this was back when we were kind of chopping around these areas. I had this support level down here where we found multiple times we bounced off of this right here. I don't think you guys are going to see that anytime soon, or if ever again, right? You can see the 200-day moving average is right above this support level. So honestly, I think if this thing at the very, very worst situation would probably come down and bounce off this 200-day moving average at around this 52, right? But I don't think that's even going to happen, honestly. So finding some support as far as where spell is right now to continue to dollar cost average in, you can see from right here, we have found some support at around the 75. So honestly, that would probably be my particular spot if I was, in this project invested and I wanted to continue to dollar cost average in. It would be basically anything around that 75 or below. Anything around that 75 or below would probably be where I would just keep dollar cost averaging in, adding to my bag. This project, like I tell you guys, I said this at the beginning of the stream, right now, selling off of any of your projects, you're going to probably be selling yourself short. When you when we get into this bull run and you look back, you're like, crap, I sold at this, even though maybe you jumped up and you're up 50% right now, right? A lot of things. Well, let me just explain what I've done a couple times already. For like ALI, it was up like 60-70%, right? I sold off. Well, ALI continued to move up, right? So I sold myself short on that. Fetch AI sold at around 50 cents. Was buying in at 15, sold at around 50 cents. Fetch AI just topped out at around $1.15. Sold myself short. And just think about where we're at right now and where we're going. We're just at the beginning of the pre-bull market. Imagine where we're going to be when we're in the middle of a bull market for all your projects. So that's why I'm kicking myself, because I'm freaking, and then ICP, I can go down the list. ICP was buying in at $293, and I sold ICP around about $9, a little over $9, right? Thinking, yes, I 3x myself. I had a lot of money in ICP. I 3x myself. ICP goes up to $16, right? And think about where ICP is going to be at in this next bull run. $30, $40, $50, $100. I sold myself short, and now I'll never be able to get my position back, right? I'll have to buy in at a higher price and have less ICP, or I'll have to invest more money just to get my position back. So it wasn't a win in my eyes. So don't do what I did. Don't sell just because we're up 50% right now on some of these projects, because like I said, you're going to be selling yourself short. So we're just dollar cost averaging in around here, right? That's what we're doing. We're just dollar cost averaging in, and we're just finding spots. That's why I'm pointing out spots of support where you guys can kind of make your own decision and, and figure out if you're able to just continue to add to your bag around some of these price points that we're pointing out. So for Spell, like I said, 75 is a pivotal spot for some support. Right now, honestly, is not a bad spot for just to continue to dollar cost averaging, just because for this particular project the market cap is so relatively small. Now you can see this thing is not bouncing, but hitting its head on the 20-day SMA right here. You can see right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this, I'm not saying it's going to go down, but maybe it comes back and retests the 75 before it breaks that 20-day SMA moving average. So that's going to be pretty much it for Spell. But honestly, I think this thing has a lot of potential, given that the fact that the market cap is so small right now. Now, let me, did I miss anything on the chat? Let's check. Prodigy, for Milady to get a SHIB all-time high, we need 30 billion as well, or close to it. Prodigy, let me pull that up. So actually, I'm going to raise your 30 billion. I'm going to raise your 30 billion. Oh, we need to pull up Shiba, right? I'm always just pulling up our beloved Milady. So I'm going to raise your 30 billion, right? And I'm going to top it out at $43.7 billion, bro. Imagine that. $43.8 billion market cap at an all-time high. Isn't that crazy, dude? That is insane. So just think about for Milady particularly. For Milady to get, oh, damn, look at Jasmy. Jasmy is breaking out. Who called it? TJ. Damn, Jasmy's breaking out, guys. Right here, this is the Crypto FUD effect right here. Jasmy did not start pumping until we went live, guys. You guys saw this. Look at this. You saw it. We'll be back on Jasmy here in a second here. So for Milady particularly, let's see here. What was I? Oh yeah, Jasmy got me all discredited here. So $43 billion market cap, right? And now it's like it keeps, 43.8. So basically 44 billion. For Milady, think about this. Milady's at technically $50 million, right? 50 million. For Milady to get to $1 billion, that's a 20x, right? That's a 20x. Imagine now it going up to $44 billion. Do you understand? That's like, I don't even know the math, honestly, for that. It would be, what? Would that be another 20 times 40? I mean, I don't even know, dude. I what I do know is it going up to about $40 billion market cap would be probably like a 10,000x from where it's at right now. 10,000x. Now, do we think that it can do that? You know, to be realistic, the reason why I say that I don't think any meme coin is going to get up to 40 billion, possibly, this is the reason why. In 2021, when Shiba topped out at around 44 billion, Doge at the same time, not at the exact same time, but around that same time frame in 2021, got up to 80 or $75 billion, right? This was back in 2021. Those were the only two top meme coins that were in the market. Dogecoin and Shiba. That was it. There was other meme coins around, but these were the two that were in the limelight. Fast forward to 2024, I think, this is just me speculating, but I think there's going to be more than two meme coins that are going to be competing for that top spot this time. I think there's going to be like about 5 to possibly 10 meme coins that are going to be competing for that top spot, right? Which means they're all going to be eating off of each other's market caps. So if you go from these two and you add the market cap for 74 and then you add Shiba's 44, let's just say that's around what, $120 billion. I know that's not exact, but let's just say about $120 billion of money for meme coins, right? Split that now into 10. You're going to have probably some that are going to have maybe some that are going to get to maybe about $15 to $20 billion. And you're going to have some that are maybe going to get to only $2 to maybe $4 billion, because maybe there might be a little bit more money flowing around in 2024 for meme coins, because we are going to technically have more people involved in crypto. So let's just up it and say we have $160 billion, right? And the whole meme coin space. I still think that you're going to need to divide that in to, 10 possible meme coins that are going to be competing for that money. So that's what I'm saying. I think back in 2021, there was just those two main meme coins that were really able to eat up a lot of that money. You go into 2024, possibly 2025, you're going to have a lot more competition eating at that $160 billion, meme coin market cap. So with that being said, I don't think that we're going to see possibly a $80 billion meme coin this time around, right? But you guys have to remember, this isn't to discourage anybody, because just think about it. Like I keep telling you guys, Milady's at $50 million. If Milady just gets to $4 billion, do you understand that's like 100x from where we're at right now? Just think about that, 100x. I don't think people comprehend how much of a move that is. I don't think we comprehend, honestly. And you guys know I'm bringing the analogy back up. Let's say you have around $1,000 and we 100x. That's $100,000 that you're going to have at the top of this bull run, right? Prodigy particularly, I know he has a lot more than that, right? That could be millions of dollars in your portfolio, So think about, that's just off of 100x of us going up to 4 billion. This thing, we could easily get to maybe $10 billion. And now you're talking about, 400 or 500x from where we're at right now. And that's why I say, as far as the meme coins, I think Milady is going to particularly have probably some of the best potential for gains, right? I think Milady is going to have possibly the best potential for gains in this next bull run as far as meme coins are concerned, right? So we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. So Craig said, well, looks like Jasmy is moving again right now. Told you guys the crypto FUD effect. I told you. So let's see here. So Prodigy said 10,000x is a bit far, but 1,000 is what I want to see. Definitely, bro. And listen, we all want to see 10,000x, right? We all want to see that. That's life-changing money right there. And I hope and pray for all of us to see that, right? All of us that's in this chat right now. But to be realistic, I try to be conservative and shoot for a lower, just because, at the end of the day, I don't want to sit here and gas anybody up and be like, bro, we're going to 20,000x, right? I'm not going to put out these thumbnails on YouTube and be like, this is about to go 1,000, million X, because, I don't want, now if it does it, I would be so ecstatic, right? Not only for you guys, but for myself, because I'm invested in the project. But I want to keep it real, and even 1,000x Prodigy, bro, that's life-changing money right there for a lot of us. So I really think, we'll see how it plays out as we get in there. So Craig said, I added 30,000 Jasmy at 12.5. Nice, Craig. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Caught that dip. You know why, guys? Because Craig is here every day. He's here every day, rain or shine, right? My boy's in here while he's at work a lot of times, and we're always mapping out these spots for support. And that 12.5 is actually a nice spot for some support, because you can see, like we were saying earlier, Craig, we bounced right here at the 12.2, a big spot for some support. But if you see, we actually, when we moved up from that 12.2, we basically found some more support at the 12.5. And that's pretty much where I have right now. You can see it basically was just bouncing off that 12.5, 12.5, 12.5. And then, like I said, this run right here, we technically, I guess you can say, because now we have 3 candles that have formed above the 20-day SMA moving average, that we found some support, basically shot off, right? Now, as we move, because remember, guys, these are some pretty big candles that we're witnessing. So don't be alarmed if we kind of come back and at least retrace this. This is the 50-day SMA right here. If we retrace possibly this 50-day right here at around the 13.9, and get some confirmation that we're staying above on this run. So, but what's Bitcoin doing? Is Bitcoin running right now? Looks like Ladies is trying to go for a run too. Come on, Ladies, you can show Jasmy. Come on, let's go. Trying to give her a little pep talk. Come on, Ladies, let's go. Let's see that 70% candle. Let's show Jasmy who's the real boss around here, right? Let's look at some news articles real quick while I sit here and just laugh at my own jokes. Let's see here. So Bitcoin price prediction as judge approves Binance's $4.3 billion plea deal. Can bull market resume now? I don't know, guys. Let's see. So in the wake of Binance's substantial $4.3 billion plea agreement, market analysts are closely watching the Bitcoin price prediction, searching for indicators that may signal a return to a bull market. With Bitcoin currently trading at around 50,500, this was obviously from yesterday, a modest downturn of about 0.5% on Saturday. The implications of this legal settlement are under scrutiny for their potential impact on cryptocurrencies market dynamics. Let's see here. The settlement approved by the U.S. judge demands Binance to pay a hefty fines for lapse in anti-money laundering efforts as the cryptocurrency landscape adjusts to new legal precedents. the question remains whether Bitcoin can leverage this moment to resume its upward trajectory. Sorry, I was looking at something else while I'm trying to read. Binance accepts $4.3 billion settlement in anti-money laundering case. So basically what they're saying is maybe this might had some kind of effect, for our lag of pumping, in the last week or two, because maybe the markets were waiting to see what was going to come out of this case. And it looks like the U.S. Judges or whatever you want to call them have basically come to some kind of agreement where Binance will pay a nice hefty fine. But to Binance, this is a big hit, but it's just a drop in the bucket for them. They can easily, pay this and then they'll make it all back in this next bull run. But I think a lot of investors, possibly is what they're saying, have been kind of monitoring this situation to see if what the outcome was going to be. And they're saying the fact that they found some kind of an agreement, we can kind of move past this. Are we going to possibly get back up to, pumping again? Which probably most likely that's going to happen, right? Let's see. Let's just do a quick, let's see here. So Jasmy's still running. Milady's is, doing her thing. Come on, Milady. Come on. Just kidding. Yeah. Had a little bit too much energy drink. Because I came from the gym like an hour ago. Drank a bunch of pre-workout. So still the after effects, I think, right? In an hour, I'll be asleep. I'll go through that crash. We jumped up above 50 million. Nice. Now look at this article I wanted to look at. It says these three presidents would have bought Bitcoin. Oh, did you guys see? I saw a lot of YouTubers covering it, but I actually watched it live before everybody covered it. President Trump was on was on Fox, and he was basically, we're not getting political or anything like that, but he was asked basically, would you support Bitcoin? Now you guys know in the past he has been really negative towards Bitcoin, and it's not that he doesn't like cryptocurrency. He's an old school investor, and he said it again. His number one thing that he wants to see is the U.S. dollar, right? The U.S. dollar's strength. So he's just always going to say that. But his tune this time was, it's there, right? He's basically saying it's there. I wouldn't be negative towards it, but he's like, I'm always going to support, the strength of the dollar, right? And I think what people are slowly starting to realize is that Bitcoin is not out to take out the dollar, right? You had this weird narrative back, 5 years ago that Bitcoin was a currency, right? That it was a currency. It's going to take over the world currency, right? It's going to take over the dollar. And when you have people like, Trump and other people that are, worth a lot of money and their money is in dollars, they don't want to hear that, right? They don't want to hear that. So they usually will, be very negative towards, Bitcoin. But now that, you've gone, now Bitcoin's, evolved 15 years later, you see a lot of these old school investors are like, you know what? I don't have a problem with Bitcoin. I don't particularly like, he's like, it sounded like he's like, I'm not particularly, invested into the, to crypto or to Bitcoin, but I don't have a problem with Bitcoin whatsoever is what he was pretty much saying. So, that was a plus. Regardless of whoever wins the election, it's a plus to see the old school investors kind of to slowly adapting to Bitcoin and understanding that Bitcoin is not going anywhere, right? Bitcoin's not going anywhere. And he also said, I think that there should be definitely some regulations for the cryptocurrency, which we all understand that will be a plus for the crypto market, I think, right? So Canary said pre-workout is ass. Just go get caffeine pills. The same thing. Hell no, bro. I like drinking pre-workout. Like I'll get some good pre-workout and I drink it, bro. I don't want to be popping no caffeine pills. No. But I think to each is their own, right? If that's something, because at the end of the day, it's what pre-workout's caffeine and caffeine pills is caffeine, right? So I don't want to be popping no damn caffeine pills. I'm good on that. I'll just mix my pre-workout and drink it. So let's see here. Free said, yo, what's your opinion on Spell? Been holding for a couple years. We'll go back to Spell. We actually just covered Spell here in a minute, a little while ago, but we'll cover it again. What's up with Sheeb? This time is the question. We'll check that out here in a second. Real quick, I just wanted to see. So 3 U.S. presidents most likely bought Bitcoin. Let's see here if they actually name. So the first president on the list was Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson, the 7th president who served from 1829 to 1837. Richard Nixon would be the next. I wonder how they kind of Thomas Jefferson. What about my boy Abe? Just like we drew it up, Biden himself hasn't directly expressed personal support for cryptocurrencies. However, his administration has initiated efforts to regulate and explore digital assets and central bank digital currencies. So, I mean, that's a plus, right? I think anybody that's running right now shouldn't be talking anything negative on crypto. I just think that if you stay neutral, like if you were running, obviously you don't want to piss off any particular party, right? You want to stay neutral, right? So you can get those votes. I think they're both best off to just really just like, if you're not invested in it, at least just stay like neutral on it. Don't try to bash it, because if you start bashing crypto, then pretty much anybody that's like involved in crypto is like, oh, I'm not voting for him, right? Even if you like that particular person for everything else they're doing, maybe that crypto might be the deal that you're like, nope, I'm not. So I think that's why both of them are kind of just like, yeah, crypto, yeah, right? Let's go back to Spell and check it out. Milady's is trying. We want to see for Milady's real quick. So we saw this bounce. We've gotten confirmation. This is going to be I believe this is our 20-day right here. Yeah. So you can see we pretty much have formed 4 candles so far above our 20-day. So that's really nice. Now our next is, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of a move up towards the 70 again. Maybe retest the 70, get rejected, but start bouncing off this 50-day SMA, possibly. We'll see how it goes. Jasmy looks like she's still looking great. We're going to see where she ends up. I think if you were to ask me, she's probably going to come up and retest this 16 right here and possibly hit her head up there. Let's move real quick for Jasmy. We're going to go to Spell right now, but I want to look at something for Jasmy if we can maybe indicate some kind of another spot for some support and resistance real quick. Nope. It's probably going to be... Yeah, we don't really have any SMAs yet that are up here. So I think the next spot that we're going to probably find some resistance is most likely going to be somewhere around the 16 if it continues to move up. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, so Craig said she already hit her head on 16 on Coinbase. Right here on TradingView, she got up to about 15.7. So are you from the future, Craig? Are you from the future, bro? He said she already hit 16. She has not hit 16 over here, guys. I think something's up with Craig. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on him. So for Spell, we checked this out earlier. So what I was pretty much saying for Spell is we looked up the market cap. Market cap for Spell is around $80 billion right now, right? 85 billion. Very, very small. We saw this bounce off of this support right here at the 75. Right now, she is hitting her head on this 20-day SMA. I think for right now, like I was saying earlier, was that she's most likely, until she can actually find some confirmation above the 20-day, and I mean at least 3 to 4 candles, whether they're red or green, above this 20-day SMA, she's most likely going to hit her head and come back and retest this 75. Now, which isn't a bad thing, because I was saying with the market cap being so small for Spell, I would be dollar cost averaging in like crazy right now, just because I feel like this little pump that you saw right here was just a little like a pre-dose of what's probably going to be coming here as we move closer and closer and Bitcoin starts moving, up in these next few weeks. I think that we're going to start seeing a lot of these alts, not just Spell and Jasmy, but a lot of the alts really start, getting back electrified and really start moving. So what I was saying for Spell, the 75 would be a pivotal spot for some support. You can see the right here, this 50-day is about to come up and meet up with that support line that we have at around 75. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing doesn't find some kind of support above this 20-day. We're going to most likely come and retest this support level around this 75. And like I keep telling you guys, not a bad spot to just dollar cost average in right now, because this thing could be setting up for another run and making some new local highs here. So Spell definitely looks bullish. Nico said yesterday the KC44, I saw it live. The most I liked was the KO of, what are you, KC44? Oh, is that Karate Combat? Was that last night? Damn it, did I miss it? I think that was last night. You guys know, I think Ben Armstrong was fighting, right? If I'm not mistaken. We're not the. I wonder if I can get that on stream and we can rewatch it on maybe a live stream, or at least some highlights. Yeah, you know why Hedera was on the middle of the mat, Craig? We talked about this. You know why I was in the middle of the mat? Because Karate Combat is on the H-Bar's ecosystem. Remember, it's on the H-Bar ecosystem. So that's why you're going to see H-Bar promoted all up and down whenever there's fights. Whenever there's fights, you're going to see H-Bar up and down the ring. Let's see what H-Bar is actually doing. I told you guys when we were looking at it the other day that this was going to be nothing but a plus for H-Bar. You know, the Karate Combat is going to be, I think it's going to be a big thing for crypto and for H-Bar particularly. So you can see H-Bar broke out of this bull flag right here, right? Broke out, made a new little local high at around almost 12 cents. Since then, I guess we can maybe map out another possible, some kind of another possible bull flag that might be forming. We'll see how this plays, but I think long run H-Bar, if you're holding on to H-Bar, excuse me, I think that's a big play. I think it's going to be a big play. I think that Karate Combat, I mean, H-Bar's got a lot going on in his ecosystem, but I think that Karate Combat's going to particularly bring a lot of eyes and a lot of development possibly into the H-Bar, DeFi and the whole ecosystem that it's building. So let's see here. I think when Ethereum sits comfortably above 3K via 3600, the Milady explosion will happen. You know, I agree with you. I agree with you to a certain extent that I think not just Milady, but I think most altcoins are going to really start going really parabolic. That was something we were covering the other day. Also was that, you know, with Ethereum, it did jump up to a little over 3,000. Obviously, it did retrace some, but it's been hovering right under 3,000. So you know that 3,000 is going to be right back, right? And, you know, one thing I always tell you guys is we watch Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin's going to really be the market mover. But Ethereum is the king of all alts, right? You got to have respect for Ethereum at the end of the day. Ethereum has paved the way for all these other projects that are all trying to make their own ecosystems and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. But Ethereum's the one that actually did it. Came out in 2013 and was like, I'm not going to be a Bitcoin. I'm going to be an Ethereum. I'm going to build an ecosystem to where projects can build off of our ecosystem, right? And that's what it's done, and it's the biggest ecosystem that we have out there, right? Hands down, Ethereum is, you know, obviously the king of all alts. So we want to see Ethereum at the end of the day, even if you're not invested in Ethereum, you want to see Ethereum do its best that it can, because it's going to be nothing but a plus for all the altcoins, but particularly a lot of projects that are built off of Ethereum, which is Milady, right? Milady is technically on Arbitrum, right? You can see the contracts are for Ethereum, but Arbitrum as well, because Arbitrum is a layer 2 that's built off of Ethereum, right? So we want to see, obviously, Arbitrum that we always monitor do really well, but at the end of the day, we want to see Ethereum right there with it doing just as well. So let's see here. Jose, what's going on, brother? He said, can you talk about, is that Shirio and you? We'll look it up. Is that going to be on the DeFi? Let's see, am I spelling this right? Shirio Anu. I wonder if this is it right here. Jose, does this look like the right chart? Because this is Shirio, but it's not Shirio anew. Shiro. I think I'm mispronouncing it. Shiro anew. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is it. There you go, right here. This has to be it. This has to be it, right, Jose? I got you, bro. Let's check it out. I'm trying to zoom out to see what this thing's been doing. So I'm gonna disclaimer. I don't know anything about this project whatsoever, right? I don't know anything about this project. Looks like for the is that 2021? Okay. Looks like whenever the bull market, for the last bull market, this thing, that's where it made its local its all-time high. So keep that in mind. So when we were in a bull market, this thing definitely did run with the market. So that's a plus. Looking at as far as right now, let's see here. A couple of things. 200-day moving average right here is definitely you can see it bounced and it's found support. It's tested the 200-day multiple times. Other than this crazy little drop right here, which would have been a beautiful buy-in opportunity right here, right? Broke below its 200-day very briefly. I'm sure this thing was like a split second before it bounced up. You can see it's sitting above its 200-day. So at the end of the day, very pretty bullish, right? Anything that's above its 200-day is still bullish in my eyes, regardless if it's had some downward movement. You can see, I mean, for the bottom, I think this would probably be the bottom right here at around this 48. You can see since it bottomed out, even though it's been going through kind of these giga pumps and then it'll retrace, go on a nice pump. Now you can see where it's retracing. It's basically bouncing above the 200-day. Before, when you were back here, it broke above the 200-day, but you can see it didn't find any support and it broke below it, right? Broke below it. From here on, it found support above the 200-day, and it's basically just been respecting that 200-day moving average. So I think in the long run, I don't know anything about this project. I'll look to see if we can see the keep wanting to spell it like a different way. Is this it right here? It's not giving us any kind of like a market cap. That's not it. Did I spell it wrong on here? Let's see if this is the same one right here. No, this isn't it. You guys with these coins. I'm trying to pull up the market cap because I'm always interested to see like what the market cap is. I might have to go look it up on DeFi. Is that it? It's that. This is Shiba Inu. Oh my god, I'm sitting here the whole time. Sorry, dude. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm sitting here looking at freaking Shiba's chart. That's the only thing is like, I wonder if this is it right here. It pulled it up on DeFi, but it's not pulling it up on TradingView. That's weird. Oh, I clicked into Shiba. I'm guessing this is it right here. I have no idea now. Now disregard everything I just said because we were just talking about Shiba. We were looking at Shiba. So Shiba looks bullish, right? Sorry, brother. I can't find the freaking chart for that project, dude. I tried. Unless this is it right here on DeFi. You tell me, is this the chart right here? If anything, we'll come back to it. But if this is the chart, it's only a $3 million market cap. This is a gamble, right? Because if this is it, this is on the DeFi. So let's see here. So keeping it moving, VeChain. Looking at old VeChain. VeChain's been doing really well. VeChain's been doing really well. Again, just like I said about Shiba that we were just looking at, above its 200A. And I mean, this thing's not even anywhere near its 200A anymore. And first thing that I do see that it's forming is a bull flag. Look at this bull flag that it's forming for VeChain. So it topped out right here at around the 5 cents, 5.1 cents. This thing's probably going to sit in this channel for a little while until we get confirmation that the whole market's moving. And this thing's probably going to shoot up, making some new local highs, because I don't believe this is the all-time high for, yeah, definitely not. So you can see, I mean, nice little run that it just went on up to about 5 cents. This thing's probably going to, like I said, teeter-totter where it's at right now in this descending triangle before you see some kind of a breakout for VeChain. So, but VeChain's been doing really well. And that kind of leads me to, I wanted to look at the crypto bubbles real quick. So looking at the crypto bubbles, this is for the top 100. You guys can see, I mean, the market really looks really well for the most part. A lot of big circles or big bubbles. Looks like this is one of the only projects down 25%. That's a little odd, down 25%. I wonder what's going on. There may be some bad news for that. Singularity has been running really well. It's down technically today 11%. So did you guys hear that Avalanche's ecosystem went down, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken? Avalanche went down. So Nico said... yeah, I tried looking up Shirio anew. I for whatever reason, I can't find it. I cannot find it. I cannot find it. So Amor said, I got my 10,000 in Milady. Now I'm officially done. Nice. So Amor said, I finally made it to the end of the stream. Finally made it. Make sure you guys hit that like. We got 30 people in here and what, 20 likes? It's not my fault. I can't find Cheerio. I can't find it. Jasmy is going nuts. Let's go back to Jasmy real quick and see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Look at Jasmy. So remember, guys, Craig said from the future, we're a little worried. Like Craig, we were just down here, and I said this thing's probably going to come up and find some resistance at the 16. And Craig came in and said, oh, yeah, it already hit 16. Before, like, it wasn't anywhere near it, and he came in and said it hit 16 like 20 minutes ago. So we're all kind of questioning what's going on with Craig, because he seems like he's from the future. So Amor said, I had no idea Crypto FUD was into combat sports. It's my life. Nice, bro. Do you fight, you train? That's awesome. I love to bro, I don't particularly train to fight or anything like that. Obviously, you guys know, or a lot of you guys know, I work out every day. I'm a bodybuilder. So, I do all that. As far as like fighting, I have massive respect for anybody that trains, because to get in there and really, I don't think people understand to go round for round. Most of us, even me, I work out, every day. I'd probably last a round, right? Like where I'm completely gassed, right? It's just so much endurance. So Jojo said, I FOMO'd into Jasmy. I was in negative before the stream. Nice. Now, I will say, Jojo, we have broke a lot of beautiful spots, but look at this. This is a big candle. We're eventually, like I told you guys before, and what's different too is like, look at this candle right here. You see how we went up? We eventually made it up towards the 17, and we did eventually retrace. I mean, we did make it higher. But I'm just telling you guys, eventually we are going to find a spot where we're going to hit our head, and we're probably going to retrace to find some support. So what would be very bullish for Jasmy right now is that if we break above, obviously, like we already have this 16 that we have as this, I think this is a 236, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the 236 fib. If it breaks and find some support above this the 16, where it's basically bouncing above, that's going to be very, very bullish. And I can guarantee you guys, if we find that support above the 16, we're most likely going to break this little local high that we have right here at around the 19 mark. So we'll see how it goes. You can see technically it like I told you guys before we even got here, this 16 was going to be a very big spot for some resistance, a very big spot for some resistance. So we'll see how this plays out as of now, but you can see it has broke technically above the 16, but it was just a candlestick. You can see it was quickly rejected and brought down right below that 16. So you can see we're basically retesting it as we speak right now to see if we can break above that 16. So we'll continue to monitor as we continue on to the stream, but let's zoom in a little bit on the charts just to see exactly what I'm talking about. So you guys can see, look, we went up, hit our head, we broke above it, and look, we basically, as of now, have been rejected from the 16. Now, don't get scared. I just zoomed in, so the candles are going to be a little bit more dramatic right now. I just zoomed in on the 15-minute. We were looking at like the 2-hour before, so don't get like worried or anything like that. We're still technically around the same area that we were. So let's see here. So Canary said, not only endurance, but there's another man that's visioning your head on a dinner plate. I boxed before tearing my back muscle, and it's not a sport for tough guys. They get hurt badly. 100%, bro. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like boxers and stuff like that. I any kind of like MMA, boxing, any kind of those like those combat. You know, I mad respect because it's a brutal sport. It really is. You guys think or not you guys, but anybody thinks because we have pads on, get hit with a boxing glove by an actual boxer. I've been out there and I've boxed. You know what I'm saying? Plenty. And boy, you really do see like things floating in front of your eyes. Like, you know, like when you get hit and you get dazed, you're like, woo, I can see the light. Like you get like really like it's like, you know, it's a sport to have respect for. I don't think your average person can just walk in there and really, even if you're good at like maybe street fighting and stuff like that, it's completely different, right? Because you're not, unless you get into that MMA. A lot of guys that do MMA were real big on street fighting growing up, right? So, because I mean, that's an all-out brawl. Like you're sitting there, obviously it's massive technique and stuff like that, but I mean, you're not just punching, right? You're grabbing people and freaking, you know, you're throwing them to the ground and trying to choke the shit out of them. Right, so that, and also wrestling. I always have respect for wrestlers too. Don't you gotta watch out for those guys, right? Because you're sitting here trying to throw punches, they're gonna like run around you and put you in a chokehold real fast. So let's see here. So with Jasmy, look, we found some support technically. I'm not gonna say officially found support yet, right? You guys know I want to see a few candles above this line, but for right now, we have broke above the 16, and we're going to see if we actually can find that support above that 16. So we'll see how it goes as we continue to move on. Now, let's see here. We got Jasmy going. Let's look back and see what our beloved Milady's doing here. Let me zoom in. Let's see here. So did we jump up? Oh, we're at about 68 for right now. So you guys can see for Milady, we found some support above these SMAs. Looks great. We actually had like a little golden cross right here, and that's why we saw this beautiful run up towards around the 69 area, right? But we did technically break below, and we're still trying to break this. What's this blue? This is the 200-day SMA for the 30-minute. So we technically have not broke above this 200-day. If we break above this 200-day and find some support, we're probably going to jump up towards around the 70 mark. Like I said, the 70 mark seems to be, this is where we hit our head both times over here. The 70 mark seems to be a big spot for some resistance for right now, right? Short term. Craig said Milady is ready to pop. Remember, guys, Craig is from the future. If he's saying this, you guys be ready. You guys be ready, because this guy is from the future. He called the 16, said, oh, we already hit the 16 in my realm. Let's see here. Amora said, "You should see the rest. You should see the rest breaks I take between sets in the gym. People get very angry, road rage at me just sitting there trading when I need to be lifting." I hear you, man. Me personally, I've learned that we're going to public gyms, right? So you can't really be mad, but at the same time, you got to have gym etiquette, right? A lot of people don't have gym etiquette, and it is a little bit aggravating when there's the gym is full and you have somebody, even though they don't know what you're doing, right? You're sitting there trading or trying to just resting. You see somebody on their phone and they've been on that whatever you're trying to get on. They've been on it for the last 25, 30 minutes. It gets aggravating, right? So I'm on both sides there. Honestly, I'm on both sides. A lot of times if I see people like hawking, I call it hawking, where they're like standing around where you're at, I usually will take my headset out and I'm like, "What's up, bro? You need this?" And I'm like, "You can jump in." You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit longer. You can jump in, right? Because it's a public gym. It's not my gym, right? But I think that is honestly rude when people do that, when they're like hawking around, trying to like hover around where you're at, like trying to basically intimidate you to get the hell off of a machine or a bench or whatever the case is. So let's see here. Pivot said, "Can we look at Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Inu, 10 coin?" You coming in and you trolling, buddy? You coming in and trolling, bro? Amar said, "Yeah, I admit I'm one of those I'm one of those douchebags, right?" Pivot said, "No, I'm just curious about it, bro." Oh yeah. I have to tell you, Pivot, I've never heard of the Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Anu, 10 coin. Never heard of it. Oh, he said that's a real coin. Sorry, Pivot. I'm so sorry, bro. Are you guys are trolling me right now, right? You're telling me that there's really a Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Anu? Oh my lord! Don't type that in. Why? What's going on? Now they're telling me don't type it in. What's going on here, guys? Now I gotta check it out. Harry Potter. I'm looking in the DeFi because there's no way in hell that's on TradingView. Harry Potter. There it is right there. Harry Potter. Oh man, that's hilarious. My bad, Pivot. I'm so sorry, bro. I am so sorry, dude. That's hilarious, dude. When I read that, I was like, this he came in and he's trolling. He's trolling for sure. Because we had somebody come in. We don't really get a lot of trollers in the chat, right? I usually will, I'll block them real fast. But we had somebody come in, and he's like, we're talking about Milady. He's like, "Oh my god." He's like, "I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm a Bitcoin maxi, and I just think this is absolutely ridiculous." Right? And I'm like, bro, like I understand. I understand looking at meme coins and stuff like that. If you're like 100% about Bitcoin, can seem a little far-fetched, but we've talked about this. We talked about this before. People back in the we're going to look at this project here in a second, but back in 2020, 2021, when everybody was jumping in, people spit at, and I mean literally, like not literally, but just like spit at people that would talk about like Dogecoin and Shiba, like, ugh, like how dare you talk about freaking meme coins? Those meme coins are shit. They're shit coins. That's what they would cut. That's the term shit coin started, right? Those are shit coins, right? And then what happened in 2021? Bitcoin did freaking amazing, right? But what was the number one coin in 2021? Shiba was the number one coin, the most gains. So you know what happened is a lot of those guys. Now you can't sit here and talk to a Bitcoin maxi about meme coins. That's that, right? But the people that are invested in alts as well, that were still saying, "Oh, those are shit coins," you talk to them now, and they're not going to sit there and be like, "Oh, I love meme coins," but they have respect for meme coins because they understand. Yeah, you can definitely make some freaking money off those meme coins, right? Definitely make money off those meme coins. So let's see here. Amor said, "Any trolls in here, I will troll you harder," right? Amor said, "Bro, we need to, as a community, come up with a plan to move all our Milady winnings into the next coin during the bull run, something that trades sideways for a long time. And Canary said a wise man saves during the summer so he can not be a beggar during the winter. I hear you. Says Bible, I will completely downgrade my life to focus on the next bull run. Next bull run, I will be filthy rich. Hey, respect to that, bro. Respect to that. You know, one thing is you gotta sacrifice, right? Whether it's a big sacrifice or it's just, I think Amor was one of them. Amor, was it you in here that was saying basically that you pretty much you're not going out to eat, you haven't been doing anything to your social life. He's been basically just spending all his money, anything that's extra, he's been just throwing it into the market, right? And that's was something we talked about a while back, was just really just sacrificing for right now for the long term, right? Because we know where we're going to be heading in the long term, you know, and if you can sacrifice now and maybe not go out on that trip or maybe not buy that stuff on Amazon and invest it, it could pay off in the long run for you, right? Maybe not go out and get that new car. I'm itching to go get a new car right now, right? And I mean like go buy cash, and I'm like, I don't think I should do it. I think I should honestly just continue what I'm doing right now, you know, and continue to just keep adding to the market, and in the long run, right, I'll it'll all pay off, you know, and that's what, because I won't get, me personally, I won't finance any cars. Like I will not finance any cars. I will not do it unless I'm like making money off my car or something like that. Then maybe. But as far as like financing, if you're able to not finance a car, you know, then that's the way to do it. You want to get yourself out of any kind of debt. You don't want to be in any kind of debt, right? Unless you have to, right? Sometimes you can make money off of it if you're you know, if you're an Uber driver or, you know, whatever the case may be, or maybe you do deliveries and you needed to put that big truck, you know, on finance, you know, in the long term, it's going to pay off, you know, double or whatever the case may be, right? Let me catch up on the chat here. So Sarah said PNG now, let's see here, PNG now effering Jasmy. What you mean by that? Nico said on Solana every day we are pumping new coins. Yep. Sarah also said Kitcoin Shiba Skip. Yeah. I don't even know if you guys are being serious now. Wishing all the same riches. Go buy PNG now. So she's spamming PNG. Okay. Moore said we should see the trolling. I do on Futters and Crypto Market. I've seen you on there, buddy. Now that I know your name, I see you posting stuff on there. Let's see here. Ladder Chris, I think I pronounced your name. I'm trying so hard not to degen 10,000 into Jasmy. Let's go back. We're gonna look at this project real quick, but let's just keep an update on Jasmy right now. So, still monitoring Jasmy. She has technically found some support above that 16. Let's zoom in a little bit and let's see what she's doing here. So, zooming in at the 5 minute. You see how we have the one candle above this 16, right? This is going to be our 2-3 fib. The next candle doesn't give me confirmation. The next two candles aren't giving me technically confirmation. So let's see. I need to see a clean few bounces above this 16, and I'm going to tell you guys this thing's about to jump up towards the 17 mark, right? But until I can see that, right? I mean, it looks like we're good, right? But I want to see, like right now we're retesting. I want to see what these candles are doing, because we keep kind of breaking a little bit below the 16 and not bouncing exactly on that 16. So not saying, you know, that we're heading back down or anything like that, but remember also we're zoomed the hell in right now on Jasmy. Like we're looking at we're looking at the 5 minutes. So that's why it's like you can see the charts like moving around dramatically. Now this candle looks like it has formed another candle above the 16. Let's see how it plays out. Like I said, I want to see a few candles bouncing off that. Now let's go back and let's look at where's my DeFi here. So we're looking at Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 10, anew. I think that's the longest freaking that's the longest name I've heard ever on a project. Yeah. So let's see here. Where's my, oh, there it is right here. So I wanted to point out right here, you guys can see, and we can come back on other streams and check this out if this is something you're interested in. But you can see the support level for this project. It's bounced multiple times right here, pretty much where it's a little bit below right now. Right at the 49 is what I have mapped. add some solid support. So with the market cap being at 45 million, that's pretty beefy, honestly. What is this is on? Hold on here. Oh, this is on. Hold on. Oh, okay, that's right. I'm like looking to see. So this is an Ethereum traded project, obviously. You can see, so where we have this spot for some support, it has technically broke below it. You can see it did bottom out right here at the 31. So, I mean, for this project particularly, doesn't look bad. The one thing I would say for this project is that, right now, maybe monitor it. You might be able to have some patience. I'm looking to see, like, this is where it kind of started off at. You have a lot of people that probably are still in profit, most likely, right, that are holding on. That's maybe creating some kind of a sell pressure, because I wouldn't imagine people that bought in all up here are selling for a loss right now, possibly, right? But honestly, from where it's at right now, don't know anything about this project, but I would say, looking at it, I'm just looking to see what they have written right here. Harry Potter is a endgame of crypto assets, Bitcoin incentives, the creation of the novel, and the entertaining meme coin content. With ownership reannounced and liquidity locked, our robust growing community has taken the lead. We have successfully completed a full audit and NFT collection, and we're exploring partnerships with other tokens in this space, a one-of-a-kind website and a one-of-a-kind merchandise and e-commerce site in the works based on the legendary meme that inspired Bitcoin's creation. Our goal is to create an ecosystem for active community members to meet, collaborate, and share our rich lore with the world. Nice. I mean, honestly, not knowing anything about this project, right? I would say this is a project you believe in, this thing would probably, and from what other people are saying, is this thing probably is going to most likely see some nice moves when we get into DeFi season, right? So I would just be dollar cost averaging in. Anything below pretty much where it's found some support right here at the 48, like where it's at right now, dollar cost average in. I think in the long run, in the next DeFi season we get into, this thing will probably shoot to the sky, given that you have a lot of liquidity already locked in, and it seems like they have a game plan as far as really growing this project. So looks better than a lot of other DeFi projects that come out, right? So you never know. Maybe we're talking about a Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 10, Anu hitting Binance or something like that in the near future, right? So we'll see. Sarah, I appreciate you being in here. Make sure you hit that like. Just try not to spam the same thing like buy Jasmy and buy PNG, okay? Please, I don't want to have to like block you from talking. All right? I appreciate it. So looking at Jasmy, you can see we didn't get confirmation above that 16. We did not get above that 16. So let's zoom out here and let's see what we have for some support if we're going to start moving down. Yeah, no worries, brother. Sorry for that miscommunication. I thought you were trolling for a second. I appreciate the subscribe, dude. Make sure you come. Dude, listen, we're here pretty much every day, especially on the weekdays. We're here on the evening time, so come in. We got a great community, and we just come in and talk crypto, right? And I try to interact as much as I can. Craig said, Sarah, don't tell Craig how to live his life. Don't tell Craig how to live his life and spend his money, all right? No, but Sarah, don't worry. We support. We'll look at PNG if you want to look at it. Jasmy, we definitely support, right? We've been looking at Jasmy for a while here, before it even started rocketing off. So guys, we're gonna see how this pump looks, because it looks great, but the fact that we just got basically rejected a little bit, we technically hit our head around 16.3, but you guys can see we pretty much were hitting that 16. We couldn't break above it. So let's see if we can, let's just see what the outcome is here while we're on stream. We'll see how it goes. Milady's looking all right. Remember, guys, I want to see some confirmation that we're going to be above this 200-day moving average right here. And I think we're going to move up towards the 70 mark for sure. Now, let's look up PNG before Sarah starts cursing us all out in the chat. She's probably not even in here anymore. But let's just look it up for shits and giggles. Not too bad. Not too bad, right? Definitely a nice little run. What is this PNG? I feel like we've seen it plenty of times. Oh yeah, this was. Remember we were talking about this PNG, and I was like, wasn't this the animal that they claimed that? I don't want to say the name, but they claimed that the pandemic started from was I believe this animal, right? I could have sworn that's what it was. So with PNG, Sarah, I hope you're still here, girl, and I hope you hit that like. All that spamming you're doing, hit that like, girl. I'm gonna go back and see if you've hit it. She's not talking anymore now. So one thing I see with this PNG, looks very bullish. Had a beautiful breakout, right? Above its 200-day, had a massive breakout. Looks like it formed a beautiful M pattern, right? Not going to say a double top because you can see it's kind of made a couple, but it looks like if you really look, it's kind of an M pattern, right? Made this high, bounce a little bit below this moving average, try to make another like local high. Couldn't make it all the way up there, and you can see it's kind of going towards the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if this project comes down and retests this 100-day SMA right here at around 21 cents, finding some kind of support. But in the long run, market cap is somewhere around where Milady is, around 51 million. So not a very high market cap. So in the long run, I think if this is a project that you believe in, I think this project can do some big potential down the road. So PNG now. Oh man. We're looking at Sarah. Don't be demanding, all right? We're looking at it right now. Jeez. Welcome to the Sarah show, guys. I'm just kidding. Ay. There's a dip now. There is. And Sarah, so what I'm anticipating is that we're probably going to find, I think if we keep dropping, we're going to probably find support somewhere around the 21 cent, somewhere around this 100-day SMA. So let me know. Maybe we'll check it out on another stream and we'll see where we bounce at. But doesn't look bad at all. Doesn't look bad at all. Let's look at a couple other projects while we're looking at the list. Anybody invested in Mavia, Heroes of Mavia? Not a bad project. Small market cap. This thing looks like it's found some beautiful support right here at the 382. Johnny, we'll look up the XRP right here in a second. We'll look it up. Looks like this thing has bounced beautifully. Looks like it bounced beautifully off the this 382 right here. This is a big project. I think it's going to be a big project as far as gaming. We looked up the site for this Mavia of Heroes, or Heroes of Mavia. The graphics on this game, this is a crypto game, is absolutely, it's like mind blowing, right? So I think this thing this is going to be like the future. Maybe this project, but something like this is going to be the future for gaming, for crypto. So look this project up if you guys ever have time. Heroes of Mavia, small market cap. It's finding support somewhere around this $6.75. So if you guys have the opportunity to find anything under $6.75, I think it's going to be a win in my eyes for sure. For sure. So Johnny asked first, he said, what are my thoughts on XRP? So let's look at XRP right here. So XRP actually, couple things, Johnny, on XRP. So we were talking about this and we've been looking at it for a while, right? I told you guys this was happening probably a few months back, where a lot of people were losing their steam on XRP, right? They were just getting frustrated because after the case and they won the case, everybody was anticipating the XRP was going to jump up to $5, right? They all had different numbers, but like I'm just like $5 was what everybody was expecting. Somewhere there was people saying 500, something crazy, right? But regardless, what's happening is that now that we've gotten well past that case, and we did see a nice move, but it's been slowly kind of retracing and finding support around this 50 cent mark. A lot of people have moved on, right? They've moved on out of XRP. You still have the diehard XRP, community that I think is always going to be there for the long run. And I think in the long run, it's going to pay off for them. But you had a lot of people that came in and left because XRP wasn't performing the way they wanted to, right? So with that being said, XRP did drop below its its 200-day moving average right here, right? And I did say slightly bearish, right? Short term on XRP. Short term, you can see that this thing has been trying to break out. It did make this double top, this M pattern right here at around the 57, 58 and got rejected, right? But it didn't bounce all the way back down to where we thought it was pretty much going to go and find some support again around that 50 cents. It looks like it bottomed out for now around the 52, 53 cents. So I think what I've been saying about XRP is if this is a play that you think long term, dollar cost average in, right? Because you right now at a 50 cent XRP is not a bad thing. The one thing that always gets me with XRP is that the market cap is so high, right? It's so high. So I'm not saying that XRP is not going to do really well in the bull market. I think though in this next bull run that XRP isn't going to see 100x, right? Because the market cap is just so high right now. Unless something crazy happens where you find like XRP takes over like a currency or is like the number one, transactional like currency in a country, something like on those lines, something like crazy big. I don't see XRP doing 100x. But in this next bull run, I think, and we know that XRP is going to break $1. We know it, right? I think XRP conservatively is going to get up to somewhere around $253 in this next bull run. That's my conservative prediction for XRP. So if that's what my prediction is, buying in right now or having patience and maybe looking for maybe another retrace somewhere around that 50 cents, I don't think that's going to happen though. I think XRP is slowly but surely going to start building up and getting towards that dollar mark. What we want to see is it break this 200-day moving average. That's like the number one thing right now is it needs to form support above the 200-day, and then I'm going to be back to being bullish on XRP. Short-term bearish, long-term bullish for XRP. So let's see here. So please explain your layer 1, layer 2 projects and how do you research about projects and that has potential. I won't go into too in depth as far as that. Maybe we'll come up with like maybe I'll come up with some kind of a video about, layer 1, layer 2s. But I will say, obviously, look at Jasmy real quick. I don't mean to stop. Jasmy broke above. I think Jasmy's going to go on it's already on a run, but who knows what Jasmy's doing right now, right? This thing's probably setting up to break this 19 mark. Real quick, as far as particularly, so layer 1 is going to be like your Ethereums, right? Layer 1s are going to be like your Ethereums where it's obviously a layer 1 project. And then layer 2s are going to be projects that are built on top of a project, right? So you have layer 1, let's just use Ethereum because it's the biggest layer 1, right? You have Ethereum. Then you have layer 2 projects like Polygon. Polygon is a layer 2 project that's built off of the Ethereum network that has its own ecosystem, but it's basically built off of the Ethereum network, right? You have Arbitrum. Arbitrum's a layer 2 project. It's based off of the Ethereum layer 1 project, but it's a layer 2 Arbitrum, and it has its own ecosystem, right? So we'll get into a little bit more in depth, but that's pretty much how you can look at it as, right? Layer 1's like your baseline, the projects like Ethereum, and then you have layer 2s that are projects that are built off of a layer 1, right? That are basically on those layer 1 ecosystems, but they have their own ecosystem on top of that. So, and I'm sure there's a whole, we can go down the rabbit hole of all that. Maybe I can explain one time as far as, or in a video as far as that. And Indy, I'm trying to go back because I missed a lot of spots here. Indy said, please go over how you come up with like 50-day and 20-day averages. So Indy, real quick, just to point out, and I've showed this plenty of times, as far as the SMAs, so if you're on TradingView, you can go and look up on your indicators, your MA ribbons. Your MA ribbons are going to be your simple moving averages, right? And they have the 20, 50, 100, and 200 day, right? Now, what I do is I use these for short-term moves a lot of times. I use these because a lot of times you're going to see where these moving averages, the projects are going to, usually the price action is going to respect these lines a lot of times, right? They're moving averages. They're usually going to either find resistance on these lines or find support on them. So a lot of times I'll use these lines and they will change. So like you see where the SMA moving averages are right now, right? We're at the 1 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour. They're looking similar, but they technically are different. If you go to let's go to the 5 minute. Look at them all. Now they're all down below price action pointing up, which is a very bullish thing. That's for the 5 minute. A lot of times I'll move around and see where the SMAs are pretty much finding where the price is right now. Now, the fact that we just had a massive giga pump, right now your SMAs are going to be a little bit, it's a lag indicator. So meaning right now we're really not going to see any kind of SMAs that are right where we're at right now just because we're on a massive pump. So with that being said, I'm using just the 1 hour right now because we basically, you see this orange line. This orange line is the 50-day SMA. You can see we were hitting our head on that 50-day right there, right? We got rejected. This yellow line that's coming down is our 20-day SMA. And you can see we basically were hitting our head on the 20-day. After we got rejected on the 50, we got rejected on the 20, right? But out of nowhere, we found support above the 20-day. Whenever you find support above these lines, it usually is an indicator that we're going to start moving towards the upside. And that's exactly what we did. Now, this is a little bit of a different scenario because Jasmy has a lot of hype behind it right now. So that really, I mean, you can't really play it out every time that you're going to see when you bounce above the 20 that you're going to see this massive move. But with Jasmy, obviously, we know that this was a potentially thing to happen just because this thing was just a lot higher 2 days ago, and it did have a nice retracement. Found support right here on this support line at around 12.2, broke the 20-day, broke the 50, 100, and this thing is on a run now. Let's see here. So Canary said Starlink is a token I really like as well. The tokenomics are almost wildly too good. It will shock people. And you know, Canary, thank you for bringing that up. So we've been covering since it just dropped Starlink, a layer 2 project that's on Ethereum, right? Now, you know, I don't know what Starlink is doing right now. Let me see if this is the number one trend. Nope. Oh yeah. Oh wait, is it StarkNet? Or you're talking about Starlink? Oh, I was talking about StarkNet that just dropped layer 2 on Ethereum. This project had a little bit of a bumpy run when it dropped. Looks like it's trying to find some support right under that $200 or $2 mark. But this thing was not doing too well just because it had such a big pre-sale. They did a big airdrop, and it just caused such a big sell pressure for the project. So let's look and see. So Jasmy's running, but look, guys, Bitcoin actually has broke above this descending triangle channel. Let's see if we are going to find some support above it. Let's see here. Real quick, guys, we got 30 people and 24 likes. Let's hit that like. Hit that like for the channel. I don't know. What do you guys think is going to happen this week for Bitcoin? You guys think we're going to see a positive week? I honestly think we are. I think this last week we had, it wasn't a bad week, but it was just a real boring week, right? It was very boring. We technically, I mean, you can see Tuesday we made a local high at around 53, but it was like no one even really acknowledged it because it was just so short-lived, and we dropped, you know, right back down into this channel. But I honestly think that we're setting up for this week. I'm telling you, historically speaking, the 60-day threshold right before the halvening, 60 days up until the halvening is supposed to be one of the most parabolic times for Bitcoin. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, guys. Craig's from the future saying that Jasmy is at 16.6. So let's see here. I don't know how long ago that you posted that, Craig, because we obviously, you can see we topped out. Now, real quick for Jasmy, because I see somebody else was asking me to target price for Jasmy. Let's see here. So real quick, like I was telling you guys, and like you guys already know what I said, we want to see some support above this 236 right here at the 16 cent. You can see we technically, and let's zoom in a little bit, we bounced cleanly off of this 16 cent right here. So I want to see a couple candles above, bouncing above this 16 cent. And what are my price actions for Jasmy? Well, number one, the next spot that's going to be a pivotal spot for some resistance is going to be the 17 mark. The 17.2 right here, you can see we bounce multiple times hitting our head on the 17.2 around that area. So I think we're going to come up. We're most likely it's going to be the same thing like this 16 spot where it's going to be a big spot for some resistance. But once we break that 17, I think the next spot for some solid resistance is most likely going to be maybe this 18. But I really do think this 19 that where we just hit our head on is going to be the biggest spot after the 17. It's going to be the biggest spot for resistance, right? But I think if this thing can continue to move like it has been, I think a lot of people are slowly but surely they're FOMOing in on Jasmy, right? A lot of people are slowly but surely FOMOing in because of the fact that they saw what it just did in the last few days, right? We saw this nice little retracement bounce cleanly right here at this 12-2, and this thing is going on a run. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are jumping in on Jasmy as we speak right now, anticipating that we're going to most likely break this 18, 9, 19 mark. Now, obviously, after we break that, the next spot that's going to be a very, very big pivotal spot is going to be this 2 cent mark. This 2 cent mark is going to be for the ages, right? Because we're going to most likely, now watch this thing just fly right by the 2 and just doesn't even see it. But I'm predicting, because I went and did a lot of research. Took 3 days to do all this research. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I remember looking back, and I'm going to look back at Jasmy's, and I want to see something. You guys can see Jasmy, this was back in 2000 during the bull run, right? I believe, right? Or we were coming off the bull run. But you can see the 2 cent mark has been a spot where we have hit our head multiple times on. Multiple times we've hit our head on the 2 cent mark, right? So going back, remember, we had to go all the way back to 2022 because Jasmy hasn't been in this price range in over 2 years. It's been. See how long it's taken me to zoom back to where we were at. So what I'm saying is as we get up to this 2 cent mark, it's most likely going to be a very big spot for some resistance. Once we break that 2, we're obviously we'll bring up the charts and we'll talk about other spots that we'll look at as far as resistance. But right now, our biggest thing right now that we're looking at is breaking obviously the 17, the 19 where we just hit our head on, and then the 2 cent. Now, as far as predictions on Jasmy, you guys know I've been giving out little predictions that I've been kind of getting crucified in the chat, not in this chat, but in the whenever I post videos. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Jasmy's been at $4 before," and we talked about this. Yeah, Jasmy was at $4 before, but the circulating supply was like nothing compared to where it's at right now. Jasmy's circulating supply right now is at 50 billion. 50 billion. It's at 100% pretty much circulating supply. 98 at 49.2 billion. So, what are my price predictions for Jasmy in the bull run? Like I told you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing gets towards around 10 cent, maybe breaks that 10 cent possibly and goes up a little bit higher. But remember, that's 10 cents is pretty much like an 8x from where we're at right now. An 8x. 10 cent is like an 8x from where we're at right now, which would put the market cap somewhere around $6 to $7 billion, technically right now, I believe. So that's the only reason why I say, right now, I'm not saying that Jasmy can't get up to some of those higher, but, when people are saying $4 Jasmy, I don't think they understand how many are in circulation. For Jasmy to go up to $4, that's a $200 billion market cap. So I'm always going to give out conservative numbers. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in the bull run. It breaks that 10 cent and gets up to maybe 20, 25 cents. Think about it. It's at 1 cent right now. So that would be a massive move. Market cap is at 800 million, so it's not technically a small market cap. It's not an enormous one, but for it to get up to like 25 cents, that market cap would be somewhere around $20 billion market cap. So not saying it can't do that. I'm just saying it's going to need a lot of momentum for it to get up to those numbers. So Pivot said he's praying for a $1 Jasmy. And I'm trying to tell you guys, don't feel like I don't want to get you guys discouraged whatsoever, right? I don't want you guys to be discouraged whatsoever, because for it to get to $1, it would have to have about a $49 billion market cap. That is doable, right? It's very doable. But if you think about market caps right now, $50 billion would put you at somewhere around the top 5 of all cryptos. So keep that in mind. Right now it's at number 98. So not saying it can't happen. Well, obviously we'll see how it plays out, but I'm always going to give those conservative those conservative numbers, right? And hopefully it beats my conservative numbers. So hopefully it beats it. Bitcoin looks like it's looking like it wants to go for a nice run. So real quick, we'll do a quick recap because I know I've taken a lot of time today, guys, on the stream, which I appreciate everybody being here and asking questions and supporting the channel. So Bitcoin right now looks like it's doing good, technically trying to come back alive, right? We're at 51.7, right under 51.7. Our next spot for some support or resistance, about 51.8 is going to be support or resistance. I'm sorry. You guys know what I keep saying. 52,000. We've hit our head on multiple times. We need to find support above the 52. But really what I'm focused on is this 52.5. We have not broke this 52.5 and stayed above it, finding support. Once we find that 52.5, that's going to be confirmation that Bitcoin is going to be running up to 55.60. That's my predictions on Bitcoin. Jasmy, looking great. We'll see how it plays out today. Still above that 16 mark, the 1.6 cents. So, like I said, it found some great support. Looks great, as far as where it's at right now. The fact that we've found support above this 236 fib right here is very bullish. So we'll see how it goes. It might need to retest this 16 cent multiple times before it starts breaking up. Remember, 17.2, around that 17.2 is going to be a spot for some resistance. The 19 mark where we hit our head, and then obviously that 2 cent is what we're looking at next as far as Jasmy. If you guys are looking for anywhere to dollar cost average on Jasmy particularly, maybe you might get lucky and find this next fib right here at the 13.5 mark, possibly. And then maybe it may need to come back and retest this 12.2. This is going to be a spot. 12.2 is going to be the line in the sand for it to stay bullish. If you guys do get the opportunity, if you're invested in Jasmy, it wouldn't be a bad spot to dollar cost average in. It's where we bounced at last time. So let's see here for Milady's. She's looking pretty good as well. She's obviously going to be going in sync with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's starting to try to come alive. Bitcoin's going to do, or Ladies is going to do the same. What I was saying is we want to see, this is our 50-day. We want to see some confirmation candles above, finding support above this 50-day, and that's going to be pretty much at around the 68 is what we want to see. So Ladies is looking great. Ladies is looking good. Everything's looking good though, guys. You can see the market is starting to things are starting to come back into the green. So we'll see how everything plays out. Let me see if I've missed anything here. Craig said pivot, he'll take 30 cents. There you go. Craig's been buying big bags of Jasmy. That's why he's like, I'll take 30 cents. Yeah, pivot, no worries, dude. I appreciate you coming in, man. Thank you for joining the squad. And Marvel said, drop this man a like if you haven't already in the chat. I appreciate the kind words, Marvel. I really do. Listen, guys, thank you guys so much for today. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. You guys make sure, I pointed out some levels for all your favorite projects. Keep an eye on them. We will be back here tomorrow around the same time. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you can get the instant alerts for the video whenever we do go live. Make sure you guys hit the like for support. Other than that, guys, you guys go out, get some fresh air. It's Saturday, guys. What a time to be alive, right? We're right in the mix of getting into this bull run. We're going to make it. So other than that, I thank you guys so much for everything, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday, and I will see you guys all here tomorrow, all right?